Hello and welcome to another 2 Network transfer update with me, Adam. It's been finalised. Salomón Rondón, the Venezuelan international from West Brom, has officially signed for Newcastle United for the season. It's on a season-long loan. Equally, Dwight Gayle, our former number 9 now, has gone to West Brom in the other direction. So Gayle's going to be tearing up in the Championship, and Salomón Rondon's going to be leading our line in the Premier League. Now, Rondon will get the number 9 shirt. It's an absolutely fantastic photo of him just sort of looking out onto the pitch. I'm really excited about this swap. I know the good things that Dwight Gayle has done for us, and I know that he maybe was a bit unlucky last season because I thought his work rate was good, his anticipation was good, but for me, with Dwight Gayle, there was just something after his injury last season, in the Championship season, around January, he got a hamstring injury, and since then, I don't feel he was absolutely electric up to that point, but since then, he's never really, he's just never been quite the same, and I wonder if he overthinks things, and his confidence is just shot, and I just think, in terms of being a bit clever in the Premier League, and he's very easily bundled off the ball. So I mean, he suited Rafa's style in the sense that he wanted to high press and that he could pull away from defenders, play on the last shoulder the last man, and Shelvey could ping balls over. I think ultimately Rafa is looking for more of a complete forward, so somebody who, you know, would be an amalgamation of all the best qualities of Dwight Gayle, Mitrovic, Joselu. You know, Joselu works really hard, and as you know, tactically he does what is asked of him. You know, he's a limited player, we all know that. Mitrovic has, you know, genuine striking quality, but his mentality just is not there, and he failed to follow strict tactical instructions as well as Joselu would. And Gayle, his anticipation and work rate, absolutely brilliant, but ultimately what we were lacking in all of those were Premier League goals in the system that Rafa wants to play. Now I believe, and you know, I've been banging this drum for a very long time, I believe that Salomón Rondón is the closest, you know, for the money that we're prepared to pay. Yes, he's coming on loan. It would have been about 16.5 million as a release clause had we chosen to buy him. So we was, you know, we're certainly not on the top end of the transfer market, but for that kind of money and the wages that he would be on, to get a player of his experience in the Premier League, and you know, he's just been shy of, you know, double figures for Premier League goals the last few seasons. Yet he's been playing Salomón Rondón for the likes of Gary Megson, Tony Pulis, Alan Pardew. You know, no disrespect to Darren Moore, because he did a fantastic job coming in, but that was only a few games. So ultimately, you look at those 3 managers and you just think, a player of Rondon's quality, who, by the way, absolutely smashed it up at Malaga, smashed it up at Zenit St. Petersburg as well. Like, he won the League and Cup in Russia. His goal scoring record in Russia and in Spain are absolutely fantastic, which is why, you know, West Brom were tempted to bring him over to England in the first place. You know, he's a physical player, a target man, but he's also mobile. Is he going to be as mobile as Gayle? Probably not, but he's definitely more mobile than Joselu and Mitrovic, and he can still play that high press game, and he can still be a really good target man. So in terms of, you know, stats, you know, he outdoes Gayle and Joselu in almost every department. In fact, Rondon and Muto outdo Gayle and Mitrovic. Gayle and Joselu in almost every single department in terms of what you would want out of a striker. I think the significant stats to pull out of the ones that I looked at for Rondon is that he is absolutely exceptional in the air. Now we look at Joselu and you think that's probably one of the few things that Joselu can do. Gayle doesn't do it at all, but actually looking at the stats, even Joselu doesn't do it even a tenth of the amount that Rondon is able to win aerial duels. So we actually have a proper target man that we can aim for, who's got good touch, good Premier League experience as well. And one of the other surprising stats for Rondon is that actually he, in terms of his take-ons, in terms of actually beating a man, with the ball at his feet and beating a man, going past the player, Rondon is streets ahead of all of our other strikers as well. So you think that's quite an unusual combination, and I think in the Premier League last season, the idea that somebody would be both good in the air and good at take-ons, it's quite an unusual blend, and I think there was only a select few players who actually sort of made the grade when I think the likes of Who Scored were looking at things like this, and Squawker as well. So Rondon was in that category of very few people who were good in the air, but also actually could beat a man as well. So he's going to bring an extra dimension to us, and I think with the likes of, you know, Kennedy and Perez sort of being his foil as well, you'll be able to play off those. I think we've got a talisman now up front. We've got a leader in the final third of the pitch, and I think with Joselu and with Gayle, they aren't, and even sort of Perez in a way, they aren't leaders. They aren't someone to, you know, look up. They won't bawl at each other, shouting tactical instructions and geeing up. I think Rondon, by all accounts, will be a great addition to the dressing room. He's, you know, West Brom fans say he's always got a smile on his face. I think he'll be a really positive influence, but he'll be able to. I think he'll, you know, his experience will rub off onto some of the younger strikers, and certainly players like Muto. You know, he's played in obviously Japan. He's played in Germany. Him coming over for a foreign from a foreign league and adapting in the Premier League. Rondon has done that himself from another European league coming to the Premier League, so he'll be able to offer, you know, really good advice. And you know, he's an experienced international. He's played in 3 Copa Americas. He's won over about 66 caps, I believe it was, at the last count. So, you know, he's regarded an absolute hero in Venezuela. So, it's absolutely fantastic that he's come. And yes, we would want to be signing 30-40 million pound strikers. Of course we would. Of course we would, but that's no reason to not be positive about Rondon. I think this genuinely makes our transfer business okay. I'm not going to go more than that, because yes, Mike Ashley's withholding funds, and it's damaging the club and it's damaging Rafa's preferred recruitment. However, under these circumstances, these political times, who Rafa has brought in, I think has improved us in every single department of every single transfer that we've brought in, those players. So, and Rondon is no exception to that. He is going to be better than Gayle and Joselu. He is going to score more. He's going to be more important, and I'm really excited to see him lead the line, and that's what he'll be able to do. He'll be able to lead the line, and that's something that we haven't really had before under the last couple of seasons. Nobody with that experience who will properly lead our line. So Rondon's in just in time. You know, we've got a couple, as it stands, we've got a couple of days left of the transfer window, and I mean, look, we're already still looking at left back, possibly a centre back. Do we still need number 10? Probably. Do I think we're going to get 3 players in? No, I do not. However, if we're probably going to get one of those players, that'll still be better than nothing. But at the minute, the players are in a dispute about bonuses. They've reneged on their media obligations in protest at Mike Ashley, and I must promote this as well. So a lot of people. There's my cat, just getting in the way. Do you mind, mate? I'm trying to do the. Go on, get out. He's just going to stay there. I'm just going to stay there. So as part of, there's going to be some planned activity in protest to Mike Ashley. You listening? In protest to Mike Ashley this coming Saturday, before the Spurs game. I mean, I'm a part of the Magpie group. We've been holding meetings about potential action. We're gonna have to play the long game. There's no point in rushing activity out, but I'm aware that the Ashley Out campaign, in conjunction with If Rafa Goes We Go account, wants this promoted. So there's going to be a protest. It's Saturday, the 11th of August at 11 AM outside Sports Direct on Northumberland Street. And the hashtag there is United Against Ashley. So they encourage as many people as possible to head to Northumberland Street at 11 o'clock before the Spurs game. and hopefully there'll be a big group and they can show their discontented Ashley in front of, you know, his sports director's baby. Sports director is what he cares about. He doesn't care about Newcastle United. So this is, you know, this is first steps. There's a long way to go. If we want to get rid of him, it'll have to be a very long campaign. People have to be very patient, and it has to be organised and planned well for it to come off. So there is going to be activity forthcoming. There'll be an open meeting as well, where everyone will be invited to come and give ideas about how they feel we should move forward against Ashley in terms of a campaign to drive him out of the club. But for now, there's a protest on Saturday, 11 AM, outside Sports Direct on Northumberland Street. Be there and let's show our discontent Ashley, and let's put off some potential revenue. It will hopefully damage him. It'll certainly damage him PR wise. It'll damage him money wise as well, if we can even persuade even a few people not to go in and purchase items at his grotesque sports shop. So that's the protest at 11 o'clock. Anyway, I'll sign off there. Salomón Rondón, welcome to Newcastle, mate. I think you're going to do very, very well. I can definitely see him getting into double figures underneath Rafa Benitez this season. Really excited to see him lead the line. Number 9 shirt. Come on, Salomón Rondón. I've been Adam. This has been the 2 Network transfer update. We'll see you later. Bye, bye.